Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams. From the Bluegrass to the Red Sea, this is the Kingdoms Podcast.
Chiefs Kingdom. It is Sunday.
What's up?
But never a day off. Never a day off.
No days off.
Chiefs are still at practice. We're still bringing you some updates. What about it?
What about it, man? Yeah, Sunday, no days off. We're gonna grind. We keep grinding. Bad news from Chiefs Kingdom today, though. A little sad about the Nazi Johnson news. I'm sure everybody's heard it already.
Man, you don't want to see the Nazi thing. Andy was on the mic today, and he confirmed it. He said that Andy Reid updates the injury situation. Clyde was sick. Still, he missed today. Nazi Johnson tore his ACL. Also, Isaiah Moore is going to have knee surgery. So the young linebacker from NC State looks like he's going to be on IR. Nazee's going to IR. Dude, not a good day with injuries. So far, It's been kind of a rough camp, to be honest.
Yeah, injuries here and there. The Nazi Johnson one, that's just a blow, man. Like we were talking about last night, that dude's been working hard to get in there and make a name for himself and maybe make the 53-man roster right off the rip this year, get some playing time in at corner, along with Jalen Watson and Josh Williams. It just sucks, man. I hate it for him, but he'll be fine. He'll grind through all of it. I mean, he's no stranger to overcoming obstacles, it looks like. So he'll be all right, but it sucks, man. It has to be a little discouraging.
Right. It seemed like Andy said he was in good spirits. I mean, you can't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be super, super defeated, but I bet deep down he is. I mean, you got to put on a brave face, but he was just now making strides, starting to get a lot of good playing time in.
Right.
Yeah, but enough of the depressing news. Good to see everybody, man. We got Brian Parrott in here, OG Chiefs fan, Cole Kessler in the house, Chiefs fanatic, Sam Bank. Sam Bank says, go subscribe to these guys. They're awesome. I'm all the way from Israel. and I support these guys and just subbed.
Nice. That's
Sam
awesome,
Bank,
Sam.
That's what's up, man. It's good to know the Chiefs are represented in Israel. Doug in the house, Richie King, Monty, Stephen James, John Birch, Julia, Gulia, Dave McGahee, everybody, welcome. The usual suspects, Steve. Everybody's not taking a day off.
They're not.
We're all together.
We're going to talk about the Chiefs on Sunday. It is what it is, man.
It's the Lord's Day. It's the Chiefs' Day. It's the double day.
Gotta go ahead and prepare for it now, you know. I see Ty in the house, Doug, Cindy, Stephen James. Everybody's rolling in. Hope you guys are doing good. Having a good little Sunday. We thought we'd do a little camp update before we go be fat and eat Mexican food or something.
Yeah, we're going to do something crazy like that. But, man.
Nothing crazy about that.
Deneric Prince, man. He had a bad day yesterday. I ain't going to lie. It wasn't very impressive. But did he follow it up with a barn burner today? Dude, he caught some attention out there today. Prince said, nay, you will not speak negative of me for one day. We can't have that. Tommy Rezach.
Get it right.
Rezach. Nice rep from Deneric Prince on the first play, 7-on-7. Hit the edge on a stretch play and had some room to run. Okay, so he had a good play. Big deal. Here we go. Chiefs offense is much better today in the team period. McKinnon and Prince have been hitting counters and zone runs nicely thanks to some good blocking by the tight ends. Matt Derrick says Deneric Prince continues catching everything in sight. He hauls in a red zone touchdown from Blaine Gabbert in the corner of the end zone with Nick Jones draped all over him. Still going. Mahomes targeting Deneric Prince a lot in 11-on-11 this series. The guy is shifty, hits the hole fast and hard. Another touchdown. Blaine Gabbert in at QB and delivers a nice fade to the back of the end zone. Deneric Prince goes up, tight coverage, comes down with it. We got more. Mahomes delivers a shovel pass to Deneric Prince, who pushes his way over the goal line. And then finally catching the attention of Pete Sweeney. Who?
Pete's what?
Pete Sweeney. Deneric Prince should be written in ink on the Chiefs 53. Locked in as a kick returner and does not drop a pass. Players to watch in the first preseason game. Steve, it's taken them this long to get on board that Deneric Prince was a lock, and I think we've been saying that for about a month now. He's a lock.
I don't know why it's taken them this long to get on board, and I think the hype's been there. Everybody loves the guy and thinks he's awesome, so I think they're just starting to feel comfortable saying that. But, yeah, we've kind of been on that train for a minute, but, dude, what a day. What a freaking day. Like you said, he fumbled yesterday, and there was some, little rumblings about this and that with Deneric Prince yesterday, and he came out and shut everybody up in a hurry with a big day like today. So
yep.
It looks like to me that, even Mahomes and Andy and everybody's pretty confident in this kid already, running in with the ones and things like that. So if there's some kind of comfort level in the pass game with Mahomes, and I mean, I don't know, sky's the limit for Deneric Prince. Like I've said before, though, I think he'll be mostly just the kick returner this season. But you never know, man. I mean, people like Clyde and Jarrett McKinnon on your team, you never know when injuries can pop up and you have to step up. So we could get a healthy dose of Prince, that's for sure. We'll have to wait and see how everything plays out.
Right. Well, he's got 3 guys in front of him so far that are all battling injuries or have battled injuries their entire careers. So not crazy to think he may get out there. Andy Reid actually said today they wanted to keep him out there and rotating a lot with the 1s, 2s, wherever. The more he's on the field, the more he can get comfortable with pass protection. That's what he needs to work on. That's what all rookie running backs always have to work on, right? It's always pass protection. That's the name of the game.
Why don't they just, each camp, they should just set aside Jarrett McKinnon with the rookie running backs and let him put on a little clinic on pass protection.
They should be like, look, Jarrett, do you want an extra $50,000 in camp? Go be a coach over here.
Look, we'll buy you lunch today if you just run this.
Yeah, go be a player coach over on the sidelines. Why don't they just set aside, I'm sure they do. Just set aside a few days. Let's hammer this out. Let's get it together. They're quick learners. The defense has been kicking ass in camp. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Not today. The offense had enough. This is the best play of the day. Trent McDuffie with an interception off of a deflection early in 11-on-11. I'm pretty sure it come off Justyn Watson's hands.
Oh, I thought Tyreek Hill was back for a second.
Right. Well, Justyn Watson. Okay, look, the defense struggled today. We can get on that. The offense finally got one over on them today. But, dude, Justyn Watson, what an anomaly this guy is. Like, nobody understands what to do here. Okay, so here we go. Caleb James comes out and says, more Watson and MVS are taking most first-team reps at wide receiver. So Sky Moore, Justyn Watson, MVS. Justyn Watson is taking a lot of first-team reps. Andy Reid even come out today and says this at his presser. Andy Reid says that Justyn Watson is a very important player for the team, says he doesn't get a lot of credit with the young guys taking the spotlight, but he's very important nonetheless. Justyn Watson was actually on the mic today in a presser and said that he signed the one-year deal in Kansas City last year. He wanted to be here. He helped recruit Blaine Gabbert over because of their time in Tampa. He signed the 2-year deal because he wants to be here. He's taking first-team reps. And we're like, hey, he's got, maybe J. Watt's going to do it. And then we get this. 2 balls off Justyn Watson's hands, shoulder pads in the starting 11s, and one of them gets picked off. And it's like, which one is it? Are we getting Justyn Watson sucks and he's not going to make the roster? Or are the Chiefs all in on this guy and he's a starter?
They like him. They like the comfort level. They know what they got with him. I don't think they like that, though. I feel like Justyn Watson could quickly play himself out of a spot. Because there's too many young guys that are putting up, man. You got guys like Justyn Ross out there, which Justyn Ross has had his fair share of drops. But, I mean, once again, it's camp. It's not like a huge deal that he had a couple drops. But at the same time, it goes hand in hand with Justyn Watson. Same thing. Not a big deal that he got a bunch of had a couple drops.
Isn't it kind of a big deal, though, when you're out there trying to earn a spot and you've got Ross coming on and you've got –
I think it's more important for Justyn Ross than it is for Justyn Watson even. Like these young guys, like I've said a million times, they got to do the little things right and make this team. But, man, I don't know.
Yeah, Justyn Watson, I think, has got a little bit of credibility with the staff, a little bit of rapport with Mahomes. I think Justyn Watson's on the roster. I think after what Andy Reid said about him, I think you can almost just pin him right on in there. Like, to come out and him say that he's a very important player for us, he don't get enough credit, and he's very important. To me, I mean, I know Andy Reid's not going to come out on the mic and be like, nope, he sucks.
Well,
he's not
Mike,
making the 53.
That's always been our suspicion since day one is Justyn Watson's going to be on the roster. It's just, are they going to take 6? Are they going to take 7 even? Well, like, how are they going to counteract that? Because just like you have Justyn Watson on the roster, and that's fine, but that takes up a spot for one of these young guys.
Yeah, which one's off? If you're taking 6, which one are you taking? Richie James or Justyn Ross? I can't see them getting rid of either of them.
There's no way anybody in their right mind. I just don't understand why you would take Justyn Watson over Ross and Richie James.
Right.
That's silly to me. But I think maybe, just maybe, man, chances are slim, but they might just take 7 receivers and keep everyone we just mentioned.
I mean, it is possible. It is possible. I've actually got – okay, look, Justyn Watson didn't do everything bad today. I'll roll a clip where he caught a touchdown in the corner. Yeah. He actually had a good touchdown. I'll roll that really quick. You see him lined up over here. You got trips left, it looks like.
Is that double tight end? No.
And there he goes. To the corner. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was that he was out there against. But I will say
that was Trips on the left there. To me, it looked like 2 tight ends on the inside.
Looked like a double tight end set with Justyn Watson out there. I'm not 100%
That's
for
odd,
sure.
I wouldn't put it past Andy either.
I think it was Noah Gray. Kelsey, and Justyn Watson, and then on the right side, Justyn Ross was tucked in the slot. So
interesting.
What a wild formation. But anyways, dude, Justyn Ross has looked good. And Justyn Watson is an anomaly. We don't know what we're getting with Justyn Watson. Is Justyn Watson okay?
We know what we're getting.
Is he the newer version of Daniel Sorensen? Like wouldn't play on any other roster, but they just love him.
No,
dude, he's a roster hog. Like, he's just going to come in and take it, whether he deserves it or not. He's taking it.
I feel like
Sorensen.
Obviously, he plays a role on this squad that Andy values. I mean, he said it himself. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, like, my thing is you got Justyn Ross playing at the level he's playing at. If he's staying healthy, you can't let him go to waivers. Just terrible idea. And then you got Richie James, who's been out there playing at a high level as well. And to me, Richie James is a way better athlete than Justyn Watson. I could be dead wrong about that. I don't know. But just from the eye test, I like Richie James better.
How is Richie James not a better athlete than Justyn Watson?
So that's like, kind of where I'm at with it. So it's like, to me, it's like if you want Justyn Watson to serve whatever purpose it is that you like him doing there, that you think is so important, then maybe you have to sacrifice that extra roster spot to go towards receivers. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Right. Well, I didn't want to gloss. I kind of glossed by this, but this is something of importance, not big importance. But they did bring in a few players today. Isaiah Gathings from Middle Tennessee and Anthony Witherstone from Merrimack, which we already seen come in during the rookie OTAs. They brought them in for what looks to be Jody Fortson and Najee Johnson getting
What's up with
injured.
Jody's shoulder? Do you know?
So I was right. I said it looks like he popped that bad boy out of place, pop it back in, and get it going. They dislocated it. They said he popped it out. You're going to be in immense pain, and when you pop it back in, everything's going to be kind of sore. They're going to let the inflammation and everything go down. I think he should be out there within like a week.
Right, as long as there's no structural damage, it should be okay.
And I'm sure if that would have been the case, they would have probably told us by now. So I'm guessing it's probably minor. But, dude, we seen Kelsey getting in a big skirmish yesterday. We had some skirmishes today, by the way.
Did we?
Should we talk about that first, or should we talk about the result of the Kelsey skirmish? Let's do that one really quick. Because Kelsey fought with Jack Cochran.
Kelsey wasn't today?
Kelsey was not today.
I was hoping for 3 in a row.
Yeah, a couple other guys. Jack Cochran was involved in it. He took the left hook to the head, so he gets rewarded today with a first-team linebacker start. Is that incredible or what? Jack Cochran comes out. Hey, Andy says if you have the energy to fight, you got the energy to play the next rep. So that's the way he runs it. But we'll get to the other little skirmish. It was between camp skirmish of the day, Amir Smith-Marset versus Jalen Watson going after it in a one-on-one red zone rep. Watson calls an incompletion with a punch-out. Here's that punch-out again, and led to shoving a few punches. Watson's helmet came off, and then Watson threw the ball. Harold, I forget his last name. Harold Kuntz, yeah. He actually come out, and he had a little bit of video of it. If I can find it, I'll bring it up. It's kind of a wonky-looking video, but I'll play it. Here we go. Mahomes had to play mediator.
Hey.
And then he's just going to launch a football at him.
Jalen Watson choked him out there for a little while.
Jalen had the one arm, the stay away from me kind of like, calm down, little kid.
And then threw the football at his face.
Dude, I tell you, look, Amir Smith-Marset doesn't get talked about a lot, but he's pretty quick. His routes look good in those one-on-ones. He has pretty good hands. He can catch punts. That's another guy we've never even talked about, even starting to make the team. Even if we take 7, Amir Smith-Marset's never even talked about. But, dude, this is a young, good wide receiver group because we also seen – check out this Nico Remigio catch today, by the way. Incredible. Watch this catch. Dude, Nico almost does a backflip as he catches the ball. And then he takes his helmet off and goes crazy.
Nico's a playmaker.
Dude, is Nico going to be fun to watch? I wish they could find a spot. I wish they could take 9 wide receivers.
Wish they could just have them all.
Can we just have them all?
I want to step back a second to the Smith-Marset and Jalen Watson scuffle.
Okay.
Is this exactly what we were talking about? Like, Kelsey, you got to calm down because you're setting a bad example for younger guys?
No.
You don't think so? You don't think
you can't, man?
I get it. I'm not on that fence. Like that's not me. But I'm just saying, is that not what people are gonna say?
So people say, "Oh, Kelsey fought a few days, and now the other guys are gonna start doing it."
Right. If it's okay to do that, and it's okay to have that attitude, then these young guys are gonna pick up on it. I don't know.
Look,
I'm sure someone's gonna bring that up.
I want a tough mentality. I want our defense to have a bruiser. We will knock your head off mentality.
Agreed.
I want to get in your heads. Do that in a game, and Smith-Marset's getting a 15-yard penalty, and that's killing a drive. Or preventing them from scoring a touchdown that could potentially take the lead or win. I'm taking that all day long. Our defense looks like they're coming out and being pestering little brats. The little brothers, the Steves of the world, the little brothers that come out here and pester. He didn't run to the bathroom and lock the door, though, like you had to do a few times. But I will say, I don't know, man. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I just think they're competing, man.
Right. No, I want the defense to be more aggressive, more smash mouth type, which we think that's what they've kind of been going for, is just like an attitude change on defense as well, because some of the players that they've drafted in the last few years, they've been going for high character guys, but they also been going for very aggressive guys. Brian Cook,
yes,
he's a heavy hitter. He'll talk some smack. You got Leo, who that's what he wants to do, is hit people.
Right.
I mean, you're seeing this type of thing, man.
Dude, Brian Cook. That's what he was drafted for.
That's what
he
I
wanted
said.
to be nicknamed
That was
the
the first one I
Enforcer.
said.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right. So those two in particular, but it seems just like a lot of that attitude's rubbed off on the defense.
Didn't O'Menihue? That was the first word he said the other day when they asked him what he wanted to bring, and he said physicality. Dude, well, we talked yesterday about Felix and Udike Uzama. He kind of been disappearing. Well, he didn't disappear today. Apparently, if we just talk about him and say they're kind of disappointing tomorrow, they're gonna have a big day. So who needs a big day tomorrow? We'll just talk about him a little bit. But Felix, man, let's jump into some Felix stuff really quickly here.
Let's do it. Let's talk about Felix.
Felix and Josh Kando was working as the second team defensive ends. Karlaftis O'Menihue was the first teams today, says Ron Kopp. Okay.
That's normal.
Kind of odd that Kando has got the second team over Malik Herring.
Right. Normal that FAU is on second team, not normal Joshua Kando is.
But we seen FAU running with a third yesterday. Or actually,
I guess with Mike Dana being injured, Joshua dude, that's sick. Maybe they do need to look into defensive end. Maybe they do need to add some.
Maybe, but at the same time, if Kando
I don't
can
like
get it done,
I don't like Joshua Kando being second team.
I
don't like Joshua Kando being on
I'm
team.
with you though. I think it's just it's a camp rotation because look, you seen Felix not even in the top 3 teams yesterday.
Well, I understand, but then I got to thinking about it, and you're like, well, Mike Dana's out. It kind of has to be Joshua Kando or Malik Herring. Who else do you have? BJ?
Yeah, BJ Thompson. Well, here we go. Felix just looped inside and forced a pressured throw in Gabbard's face, so he was getting after the quarterback. Here's another one. Got a much better look at Felix today, running with the second team. One of his best reps was an outside rush push-pull against Wanye Morris that may have drew a holding flag on Wanye, and he still got to the back of the pocket. Here's another one. Chiefs' second team getting work in today. Kando and Malik Herring are the 2 DEs, as FAU observes from the sideline. So, see, they did put Malik Herring in, kept him with Kando. Okay. A few snaps in, Herring kicks down the defensive tackle. So that sounds like Herring's kind of running the Dana row right now. FAU comes in at DE. The duo rush on a stunt from the same side, but the backup offensive line picked it up well. The last thing about Felix, he got to go one-on-one rep with Prince, and he wins an outside rush, swiping his hands, bringing his hips through in the same motion. The sort of moves that impressed me at K-State. I've actually got a little bit. Let me see if I've got the clip of that. Yeah, here it is. Here's the clip of Felix going against Prince Tega in the drills, and you can see Felix has a little bit of bend to him. This guy knows what he's doing. Here we go.
Yeah, man, I've been saying Felix has all the tools, man. He's got a nice pass rush arsenal coming out of college. So
I will say Prince didn't do a bad job in that rep. He got his hands on him. He kicks him out. If it's more of a game situation, he's probably holding just a tad bit more. He's putting his body on him. You know, I'm not ready to say, well, Prince stinks anyway, blah, blah, blah. I think Prince is better than Lucas Niang all day. But Felix does show what he's got. I think it's funny that people don't think Felix can be productive. That's a weird take to me.
Dude, I mean, coming out of college, he's probably one of the most polished pass rushers in that draft class, even counting all the top guys.
He may be the most polished on this team besides Chris Jones.
Like, he has a lot of different moves, and he just has like a natural ability to get to the quarterback. He just has a knack for getting back there, man, and you can't teach that. Like you said, he's a little bit more bendy than what we're used to seeing. I think he'll come around, dude. I think people they're going to ease him in. They're not just going to throw him to the wolves. Why would they when they got, Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis probably starting. But I think when Felix gets reps, man, I think that he's going to take advantage of it. He's going to cash in because he just, like I said, he just has a way of getting to the quarterback. If he don't get home, he's still going to put on a lot of pressure.
Right.
Kind of like Karlaftis did last year. But I mean, he's more athletic and can get to the quarterback in a multitude of ways compared to Karlaftis. Karlaftis was just a bull rush type guy.
Right. I think that's what Karlaftis is going to continue to be throughout his career.
Right.
I don't see Karlaftis. I love George Karlaftis. I really do. Maybe not as much as Brian Parrott in the chat. Shout out, Brian. But I will say this. I think George will develop into more, but he's never going to be that finesse guy. He's never going to be the guy that bends the edge. He's going to beat you with the bull rush. And
I think that's why they went and got Felix and BJ. Quite honestly.
Right, because they kind of complement each other, don't they?
Yeah, they both have that ability. They both have that athleticism that George Karlaftis does not have.
Well,
but man, if you could put the fire that George Karlaftis has in the motor and like
Right.
Just the want to get better, that work ethic in these other guys, man, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good defensive line.
Yeah, speaking of BJ, Ron Kopp says this. BJ Thompson has been giving the backup offensive tackles fits, getting depth in their pass sets during 1v1s so fast to the corner. So BJ Thompson is a guy. I'm seeing it in the chat right now. Rich asked BJ Thompson, how do we keep him and sneak him in? Do we sneak him in as a linebacker? I honestly think BJ Thompson has a chance to make the roster as a defensive end. I think we'll take 6. Didn't we take 6 last year?
Well, let's be honest about it. Would you take BJ Thompson, who still needs a little bit of work? It's kind of a little bit of a project. Wouldn't you still rather have him on the roster? Doesn't he seem more valuable to you than Joshua Kando or even Malik Herring?
Right. So, well, who are they going to be? Do they maybe they sneak him in by counting Charles Omenihu as a defensive tackle. Maybe you can do that. If not, you're going to have Omenihu and Karlaftis. That's your 2.
Does it matter? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I mean, technically, the way that Spags moves them around the line, I think you look at linemen as a whole. So I think they take – I don't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like they took 6 defensive ends last year and 4 defensive tackles. So they'll take 10. But like I said, Mike Dana, he's going to be on the roster. And then you got Omenihu. Both of them were kicking down inside. Malik Herring's obviously kicking down inside, and he made it last year. I mean, BJ might be one of those guys. I would think trading up for him and stuff, they don't put him on the practice squad because somebody can poach him. I don't see that happening. I think BJ's going to make the team.
I mean, most people had BJ graded as a 7th rounder. Let's just be flat out. Like we did. We had the Chiefs taking him in the 7th round.
Yeah, we had the Chiefs taking him.
A lot of people had him graded as a UDFA. I mean, he was playing at Stephen F. Austin. He started with Baylor, ended up at Stephen F. Austin. It's not like he played great competition. He's 24 years old, so he's not the youngest guy. And he needs work. He's a little bit of a project. So, I mean, a lot of people had him, down in the 7th round to UDFA range. We traded up and took him in the 5th round, which surprised the heck out of me. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I feel like he could potentially be a practice squad player. No one would bother him.
Right.
It just depends. But I do like that they are starting to look more into a speed element on the edge. That's something that me and you've been wanting for a few years. Like we were big on Nick Benito last season. Like, man, be cool if they drafted Nick Benito. He's bendy and fast, kind of like Derek Thomas a little bit. Like we like those traits. And of course they didn't do it. They took Karlaftis early. And this year though, I think Felix and BJ give us a little bit of what we wanted.
Well, here, I brought this up. We can look at this really quickly before we jump on in. Can you see the screen for me? Do you see that?
Yep.
This is last year. We took 4 defensive tackles. If you look at the 4, Chris Jones, Noddy, both of those guys are going to make the roster again this year. No doubt about it. Noddy's backup was Colin Saunders, and that is now Keandre Coburn. So I think Coburn's taking that spot. So Turk Wharton's going to start the season on IR, presumably, right? I mean, pretty much he's going to miss 4 games. So they did reserve him right off the rip, so you can take the extra roster spot. You don't have to put him on the roster, I don't think. So they do get an extra 3. Who's that going to be? Is that going to be Danny Shelton? They keep talking about wanting to keep Shelton, but I would think he's the naughty Colin Saunders, Coburn kind of guy. So you need almost like the Chris Jones, Turk Wharton kind of guy right there. So who is that other defensive tackle they bring in? Do we have him on the roster? Like, is there a guy there that does it? I don't know.
Not that I know of. You got this Wise guy they've been using. No, I didn't mean it like
Daniel
that. That's
Wise.
Hilarious Wise guy.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't see Daniel Wise actually making the roster. Do you just put Omenihu in right here?
You could.
Turk Wharton, and then that frees up because here we go. Here's defensive ends. They took 6.
Charles Omenihu, the scrawniest defensive tackle of all time.
Right. Frank Clark's out. So Karlaftis made the roster last year. So presumably this is okay. Yeah. This is going to be Felix. So Felix, Karlaftis. Dunlap's not here anymore. So Dana slides up. Kando and Herring both made the team last year. What?
Kando made the
roster.
Did he really?
The Chiefs' initial 53-man roster 2022 says
I took Kando.
They did not take Kando last year.
I do not remember that at all. I guess so. That's weird.
They took Bolton, Gay, Chanel, Harris. Yeah, this is last year's because last year they took Harris. I was just making sure I had the right one brought up.
It has to be last year.
Yeah, they took Harris because
on there.
Right, and everybody thought they were taking the boy from the Jets we picked up, that young gentleman that didn't make the team, Elijah Lee. So they took Kando. God Lord, we were bad situation last year. We look better on defensive end this year than we did last year.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a sad group right there. Because you got Frank Clark, who don't ever really play up to his potential in the regular season, and then you had George, who was unknown at the time. I mean, he had a great year for a rookie, but at the time we didn't know for sure what was going to happen. Carlos Dunlap is Carlos Dunlap, but I mean, he was 34 years old. And I mean, this was kind of sad, honestly.
So presumably,
we have upped it a little bit, but we haven't really made everyone feel that much warm and fuzzy about it because Frank Clark's gone now. So you fill that in with the talent, like the potential of Felix and BJ or something like that. But there's really no one there. Charles Omenihu, obviously.
Right. So presumably, okay, if Clark's out, Dunlap doesn't come back. They keep all four of the other guys and just replace it with Felix and Omenihu? Isn't that it?
Yeah, but I don't like it that much.
No, but then that leaves that Turk Wharton spot right there. So my point is you could put Omenihu in there because you can play Dan and Omenihu as a defensive tackle.
But what are you freeing up? Who are you trying to free a spot up for as a
BJ Thompson?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out a way to get BJ. Or does BJ just beat Josh or Malik Herring outright?
Maybe.
It's possible.
Yep.
I don't know. I'll stop. We'll stop talking about it. We could talk about this all day, but isn't that what the fun of it is? Like, this is what the camp battles are for, man. I will tell you another guy today, though, that had a pretty big day. And people are saying this guy's going to get on the roster, Steve. Matt Bushman. He had another big day today. Matt Bushman reached out,
he's getting
semi-one-handed.
A lot of love.
A lot of love. Clean completion on Mike Edwards. Bushman, Mahomes finds a wide open Bushman in the red zone for a TV. Bushman's been working in plenty with the starters of the team. I've actually got a clip of Bushman catching a touchdown pass. Let me roll that for you.
Let's watch that.
Let's watch it. You got MVS in motion. Bushman right here on Justyn Reid. Beautiful pick by MVS. Did you catch that pick, man?
It wasn't a pick.
Was he not blocking? It looked like he was blocking. I could be wrong.
As long as the ball is out of the quarterback's hand, I think they can do that.
Yeah, he blocked with his butt. So, I mean, there's ways around it. Pick play, rub play, you name it, we'll call it. It's only a pick if it gets called, right?
Well, I mean, it's how you run your route, right? I mean, you run the route if you're smart.
True.
You don't need to actually block anybody. So, I mean, that's just part of it. But, man, Bushman. Let's talk about the tight ends for a second. We went on the defensive end rant. Let's go on the tight end rant.
Let's talk about tight ends.
Travis Kelce's going to be Travis Kelce, but Travis Kelce's also 34 years old, and we want to make him a elite tight end for as long as possible. So
that means Noah Gray is 100% lock.
110%. And I think that Noah Gray is going to see a little more work this year than he has. I think they've been easing him in. His rookie season and last year, he got a little bit more last year.
Not to cut you off, but Nate Taylor says that he was the winner of today's practice for the third consecutive day. Noah Gray.
Yeah, he's a beast. I'm
doing
telling
well
you.
In every drill. Dude, Noah Gray's on this team 100%.
I keep trying to tell everybody, Mike.
Right.
I've been saying it and saying it. Noah Gray.
Oh, Noah.
Noah Gray is the guy that they want to replace Travis Kelce when they have to pull the trigger on that. That is who they want. That's why they're not out there trying to draft Dalton Kincaid. That's why they're not out there trying to draft Trey McBride or Greg Dulcich last year, because they just already think they have it with Noah Gray. And they're I don't think they're wrong either. I mean, if you watch the guy, he's good. And last year in the season, he made some very important catches. What was that third down catch? Was that against the Bengals, or who was that against? Where he caught that one on third down, like kind of Mahomes threw a high ball. He kind of bobbled it, caught it.
I don't remember, but it was a big part of the season.
Yeah, dude, it was an important play. And this guy seems to make catches when he's out there, man. He don't drop balls, and he runs routes well. He's very athletic. He's faster than people think he is. Like, that's one thing Nate Taylor and I think Pete Sweeney had said something about in camp is they'd never noticed how fast Noah Gray can be. Like, he has an extra gear. So that's where I'm at. Those two, 100%, obviously. But then you're looking at Jody Fortson. Can Jody stay on the freaking field? Because if he can, he's going to be on this team.
Right.
And Chief KT, it was the Titans. It was a Titans game, which was a close one. That one went to overtime. So that was a huge play.
Right. Jan says Jody's going to be back soon. I think we're all under the impression that Jody I think Jody does come back. I don't think this injury is a big deal for him.
No.
That popping that rotator cuff out or whatever that's called, that joint right there.
You just dislocate your shoulder.
Yeah, you dislocate it. As long as it don't have any like structural damage, if he tore anything, which I feel like we'd have heard about that.
I'm not worried as much about Jody's injury now. It's just that KT effect.
To me, though, I feel like Jody.
This guy gets hurt way too much, so I can't
You
ever
feel
feel
like Jody,
comfortable.
though, if he comes back, okay, look, if he comes back healthy and he stays healthy the rest of the camp, Jody's on the team. I think he's on the team with Noah Gray and Kelsey, and it's coming down between Bushman and Bell.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
fight?
I think so. Do they go ahead and go with the youth and just take Bushman, or do they want to rely on Bell? But which Bell's had
I think they like
some
Bell
things
because he
going
played
on.
that high school quarterback, and he can do all those stupid
He
sneaks
can
and
do a lot
stuff.
of different little things like
But
that,
do
and
we
he's
have
one
to
of the
do that
best
anymore?
blockers in football as far as tight ends go.
Do we really have to do that crap anymore?
We never
with the
had to do it.
whole-
We didn't have to do it to begin with. Like, I don't know
Right.
what it is. Okay, maybe when Clyde was our feature back, and that was the guy we had, and we went to Jerick McKinnon besides Clyde.
Right.
Then
But
yeah,
Pacheco
sure.
runs like a bull, man.
You got Isaiah Pacheco. If you don't give that guy on 3rd and short, like, third and 1 or less, like if
Well,
you
now
don't
you
hand
got
it
Deneric Prince
to
He's
one of those,
bigger.
if you don't hand it to one of those two guys
Right.
and tell them to get a freaking yard, then you're just, I don't know what you're doing.
To be honest, it's not even about how big they are and how tough they run. It's play design. We've seen them put in
Yeah.
the fullback over and
They
over
have
on
to. They
3rd
have
and
to
an
stop.
inch,
They
4th
have
and
to
an
stop
inch.
delaying the handoff on these.
It's
3rd and ones.
predictability is all it is.
Well,
It's 100% predictability.
Well, that's why every time Mike Burton came in the game, we got stuffed because
Yeah, we were like, oh, here comes the Burton on the quick handoff.
But and I'm not so sure that the tight end ones work that well either, because the minute they see them in motion, a lot of times on 3rd and short, people knew that the Chiefs were going to try that sneak. But and another thing is on 3rd and 1, sometimes it wasn't Clyde's fault. And sometimes it wasn't whoever else was running the ball's fault. It's the fact that we have Bieniemy or Reid, either one, calling delayed handoffs, like draw plays on 3rd and 1. Just hand the freaking ball off and hit it. Like, it's just a half a yard. What are we doing?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Cole, what's up, Cole? He says, are you guys going to do a mock 53, whether it's live or not? Yeah, we might put together our 53-man roster. We always do it.
For sure.
Maybe the day before it gets announced, we may do a live video and just reveal it or something. That would be
cool.
kind of fun. We did it last year. Do you remember how many we hit last year off the 53, Steve? It was high.
A very high percentage.
It was very high percentage. We had actually did a video, I'm pretty sure, out of every Chiefs podcast, every Chiefs channel, every Chiefs everything. I think we were at the highest. We hit the higher percentage. It was very minimum. I think it was by one player.
Toot, Mike. Toot.
Hey, toot it. No, it's not about that. It's just because it just shows that, okay, look, things don't happen by coincidence. We do it and we call them because we are every day 24/7 looking into this and watching this and gathering all the information we can, breaking down film. If you watched our live last night, you've seen how in depth I got lost watching some film of some one-on-ones.
That was just a quick little Mike looking at Twitter thing. So
yeah, and that's me looking at Twitter, and I analyzed that for about 25 minutes and forgot what I was doing. I will do that all day long, every day, if you let me. That's what we do, and that's why we can hit them. Dave McGahee, what's up, Dave? He says this gives the window for Bushman to shine.
Yeah, it does.
I do believe. Yeah, I believe Bushman's got a shot. They like him.
So they had specifically mentioned, Andy Reid did, when they were not going to have a fullback. He mentioned the H back, and he mentioned using the tight end. Who's the one that fits that the most
out of our tight end room?
Yep, Blake Bell.
Yeah, Blake Bell, but I would think Noah Gray could do it if you let him.
Yeah, but I swear, doesn't that just seem more fitting for Blake Bell?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's going to be – I don't think it's like a lock, like Blake Bell has to be on the team, but I think Bushman could get a spot. But
he says Keeley. I'm going to say Kelly. I don't know. Whether correct me. Blake Bell is our fullback. Essentially, he kind of is.
That's what I was saying, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
because they were gonna use them for that purpose when they needed it. So I mean, Blake Bell's that guy. But I don't know, man.
Well, this is a perfect segue. Let's talk about some wide receivers again. This is what people love. Realistically, how fast do you think KT's back on the field? Says Doug. What is up, Doug? Appreciate you being here. Steve, what do you think? You think he's getting back by week 1? I just feel like with his injury history, they're not going to rush him back that quick. I think he's going to miss maybe 1 or 2.
Initially, I said no. And so I'm going to stick with it. I think that them telling people he'll be back by week 1 might just be a little generous. If you see Jalen Ramsey, he had a full meniscus tear, and he's going to be out for 8 weeks at least. So,
Right.
I mean,
Well, Tony got lucky there.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
But they did a little cleanup work. I still think with the way he is, okay, look, if he's back and he's like, look, I'm 100%, man, let's go. Do you really risk it?
I would
It's
give him
like,
another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
They gotta
let's
get
just
this
let
guy
the guy
healthy.
chill.
And, I think our wide receivers are okay.
I may
without-
start him on IR. I mean, you got to give him the 53, but I might give him the first 4 weeks off and be like, can we just get you healthy for the season? Like, let's just do that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll
Let
see
the
how that
trainer
plays
live
out.
with him.
You have to think that kind of stuff goes through Andy Reid's head as well. Like, dude, we have to have you available, so we got to get this right.
Right. I don't know, man. I just think it's going to be. I don't see him getting back. We'll say that, and then if you look at wide receiver again today, here we go. More wide receiver days. Justyn Ross. Justyn Ross is still impressing today.
Yep.
Justyn Ross had a TD catch in the red zone, a nice bullet pass on a slant from number 15. Also, might have to start entertaining the Chiefs' Justyn Ross as a contributor.
Yep.
Caught a beautiful Mahomes back shoulder pass on a fly while being guarded by Josh Williams. Might be one of his most productive days at camp. We've said this, Steve. Justyn Ross, to make this team, has to stack days. You can't have one flash play and disappear for a week.
He's doing
You gotta
it.
stack it and stack it. He's doing it, man. I've got a clip of one of his catches today. Let me roll that for you. Here's the nice grab. I think this is the over-the-shoulder one. I'm not for sure. But either way, he makes a good grab. He's going to be on the right side of your guys' screen. Here we go. Somebody in the crowd can't breathe. Here he goes.
It's pretty hot out there.
Yeah. Dude, a nice play right there. That was it, because that's Josh Williams in coverage. So that's the exact play he was talking about right there.
I think Ross is doing all the things that he needs to do. Like I said, just clean up the little things. Don't drop balls. Other than that, he's doing exactly what he needs to do to make the squad. He's making it. If he keeps performing like this and keeps having that connection with Mahomes, it makes it almost impossible to put this guy on a waiver wire. Like, you just can't do it. His ceiling's too high.
It's a scary.
I mean, I've got Justyn Ross, man. The more the days go by and the more you see things like this, the higher that percentage gets that he's a lock on this roster. And like, to me, I'm at that 75-80% right now. I think that he's really got to screw it up.
I just don't know how they do it. My point is, Andy's just not. They've never been committal on anything over than 6 ever. So
right, and he's rarely did 6 actually.
Right, and then with 6, how do you not? With him saying Justin Watson's an important integral part, and he's taking all the first team reps, and then you go sign Richie James in the offseason. It's like Justyn Ross isn't contributing on special teams. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah, Chief KT says, why haven't we heard Brett Veach? He's usually at the podium. He running from the smoke? I think so. I think Brett Veach is avoiding a little bit of the Chris Jones talk. That'd be my guess. Normally he's been on the podium by now, I would think. I mean, I'm almost positive by now he would have talked to the media, so I don't know. I saw where Chris Jones said something about Happy Sunday or something like that on Twitter earlier. I quote tweeted him. I said it'd be a great day to sign an extension with KC. So
yeah, it really would.
I know.
Let's get it going. Man, I don't know. I think we're going to see it sooner than later, I believe, but I don't know.
I'm thinking this week sometime.
I think Brett Veach. I don't know if Brett Veach would have actually had a press conference by now, but doesn't it seem kind of weird that they've not even talked about it? Like Andy's actually talking about it, which is strange because he don't usually say stuff
I don't know.
like
I feel like Veach would have already been on the podium by now, like usually. I could be wrong, but I feel like he's usually up there pretty early. I mean, with every other event, I mean, you go to, mini camp, you go to the rookie camp or whatever, and then you go back to draft and everything else. Veach is always one of the first ones on the mic. He got to camp and he disappeared amongst the Chris Jones thing.
Right.
I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but yeah, I'm with you, Chief KT. I feel like he might be avoiding all that just so they can go ahead and get it done. I'm predicting sometimes this week we see something get done. That'd be my guess, because I think it's about time for Chris Jones to pony up his almost $1 million. He's going to have to hand over and get out there and get on the field and start working.
Yeah. They need to, Brett Veach, if you're watching, take that $1 million fine you got from Chris Jones, donate it to the channel. We'd gladly appreciate it. It helps us. We see 160 people in here with us on a Sunday afternoon. We appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you don't care. Get this out to more Chiefs fans. If you are a Chiefs diehard fanatic and you are not subscribed to this channel, you are missing out. So go ahead and hit that sub button. We're trying to get to 20K. We are at 11K right now. We're trying to get to 20K before the end of the year. So hit that sub button, click that bell. You know when we go live. We do these all the time with some camp updates. We drop videos. We're dropping shorts. We're doing all kinds of stuff. But yeah, we really appreciate you guys being here. And let's jump back into it, man. Speaking of more wide receivers, here we go. Blaine Gabbert with a dime to Richie James in the end zone. Richie James with a TD. James got free on an out route, and Gabbert delivered it. Does almost the exact same thing on the very next play to Rashee Rice. So Gabbert is throwing darts. But you know what's funny? Harold Kuntz says, of note, Andy Reid's been on Blaine Gabbert a bit today. Referees are out here today. Pre-snap, there's been a bit of frustration. Seems like Gabbert's having some trouble getting the playbook, getting everybody in position. And dude, it takes a lot for Andy to get on you. I want to know. I want to see video. Like, is he just in his ear talking? Is he just discussing? Or is he, like, chewing his ass out there? Like, I want to see.
Well, I mean, Blaine Gabbert, he's a guy that needs to come in and right the ship, right? And the main thing is that you know the playbook and you can get the guys in position. Steady. So, I mean, it is what it is. And we got Dave McGahee with the 10 bomb. Appreciate you, Dave. You the man. He says, appreciate you, bros.
Dave.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. We're just grinding. We're trying to get out as much content as possible here in the off season for you guys.
Every day.
Keep everybody updated on camp. We know, I mean, there's a lot of days where I can't even get a minute to look and see what's going on in camp, and I get updated by Mike right along with you guys, or things like that. So that's why we do these. We try to keep everybody up to date on what's going on. That way we do the dirty work, and you guys can just chill and listen and see what's going on with the team. And we appreciate you, Dave. Thanks for the 10.
The fact that I had to...
Hey, no. Throw some catch-ups in the chat for Dave McGahee.
Catch-ups for Dave. The fact that I had to set an alarm this morning on a Sunday morning to get up and do camp on a Sunday. Why ain't we giving these guys the day off today, Andy? Come on, baby. Let us all have a day off. They're actually going to be back tomorrow, Monday, but Tuesday is a Chiefs day off. But nay, not for all Chiefed Up. We're probably going to be here on Tuesday talking about something stupid. We'll be breaking down a wide receiver position for the 4,000th time. We'll be talking about the defensive end room for the 3,000th time. You do it, but that's what we do because you got to just keep doing it, man. Mahomes had a day today though. He's looking Mahomes-esque. He even ran for a touchdown during
I saw
the red
that
zone.
clip. Yeah,
the crowd loved it. Let's be honest. Nobody's touching Mahomes. He's got a yellow jersey on. This dude could be doing backflips and cartwheels, and nobody's going to touch the guy. He's just going to go in the end zone. It was all for show. But MVS, Steve, MVS and Mahomes are finally getting on the right brain wavelength here. They're doing it. Check it out. Mahomes in a 7-on-7. Chanel does a great job in the end zone. The rep scene's over, and then Mahomes finds MVS in the back of the end zone with a jump ball. I have got this clip. And good night.
Dude, MVS high point a ball.
This is Mahomes, and MVS high pointed the ball, and this is beautiful. If we see this year, good night. It's going to be tough to stop. Here we go.
Mike, this is all I've been asking for.
Right. Look, you're going to see him roll out. Look, Leo's got it shut down. He's got Kelsey. Look at that.
That's it. That's all I want. I want MVS to be that guy that'll get up there and get the damn ball. Be a little aggressive, do some fun things. Dude, I'm telling you. He's
6'4". Presumably, these arms are probably 2.5, 3 feet long. And then by the time he jumps, he's in the air 16 feet, 15 feet. This dude's like a wizard. He can fly. Go get it.
That's the thing, man. People write off MVS, and people don't like that they've paid him this much money. But you saw flashes of what MVS could do for this team last season, especially in the AFC Championship game. If Patrick Mahomes and him get on the same page and they start doing stuff like this, MVS is going to the next level. People's going to start mentioning MVS with better receivers and not just a guy that you forget, somebody that's forgettable or somebody that's getting overpaid.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Patrick needs a big X receiver that can go get the ball. Hello, he's been on the roster the whole time. He just won't get it together.
It's not that he won't get it together. It's just they can't get it together.
Right.
It seemed like a lot of times last year when MVS ran good routes and was open, Mahomes missed the throws.
Right.
And then there was times where MVS didn't run exactly the right route and Mahomes didn't have the ball in the right area because it was his fault. We've said over and over again, they got to get on the same page. If you can get them two on the same page and then get a little bit more of a fire in MVS's ass and make him a little bit more aggressive, I mean, it could be huge.
Yeah. We seen Sky Moore. He beats Jalen Watson to the corner for a touchdown. I'll roll that clip. Here we go. Some one-on-one drills out here. I can't see who the quarterback is. I feel like it's Blaine Gabbert. Dude, Sky Moore.
So funny because everybody's like worried about our wide receiver room, and I'm excited about it because, like, it's hard not to get excited when you think about what is MVS going to be like this year. Is he going to be more on page with Patrick Mahomes? What is Sky Moore going to be like this year? That's exciting as hell. Is Justyn Ross going to be able to make this squad and translate what we all think he can do to the team?
Dude, and is he going to contribute when he gets here?
Is Kadarius Toney going to stay healthy and play a majority of the games? Because we know he has the ability to go. So much to be excited about with the wide receiver room. I get it. We've been one of those guys that we've been two of those guys that's been proponents of getting a proven receiver in here for Patty, and it just didn't work out. But it didn't work out. Big deal. I'm still excited about the wide receiver room. I just am.
Right. You can be excited about it and still have a little cautiousness for it. But, dude, it looks good. Here's another. I think this is a.
Hey, real quick, I closed the poll out.
Ahead.
Close the poll out. The request of Stephen James. Who's impressed everybody the most at camp so far? 43% say Justyn Ross, 34% Rashee Rice, 17% Deneric Prince, and 3%.
That's low for Deneric. Low for Deneric. But is he already starting to get to the point to where people are expecting him to perform every day?
No, but I think what it is the running back room is so set. Wide receivers are not. There's like a camp battle going on. There's
everybody's
a position
wanting this
battle.
wide receiver thing to clear itself, and I don't think it's going to do it till late. I think it's going to come down to the last spot late. I think Andy and them's going to be staying up all night long for that last week, just like debating this.
When all they have to do is be like, you know what? Maybe we don't need Justyn Watson after all.
Justyn Watson really is like the kink in the armor, or whatever that is called. Like, he's that guy, and it's like, do we need to fix it?
He's a vet.
Okay.
He's got a year in the offense.
Right.
He was decent last year. Mahomes likes him. Andy likes him. That's what makes it difficult. But when you put them side by side against a Justyn Ross or Richie James, even, it's just like, I don't know if he's the guy that we should be picking.
Yeah. Here's another long TD catch from Mahomes to MVS. This should tickle you, Steve. Right here. Here we go.
I'm not getting tickled, but
you might once you see this.
What we got here? What we got?
Oh yeah!
Burning Josh Williams.
There we go, baby.
Struggled.
That looked like the one from a couple of days ago where he hit him in stride. That's what Mahomes was missing
That's
on
a
last year.
couple times, man. Josh Williams struggled today. He did get the start. Najee was out. He started.
Even some of the completions to MVS last year that were big completions for 40 yards sometimes. If Mahomes had thrown the ball just a little bit more on target, it could have been broken for a touchdown because it would have hit him in stride. There's a lot of times that MVS was having to stop and wait for the ball.
Right.
We've seen that a lot.
We got another one here. Richie James shaking and baking for the touchdown. Watch Richie James. Do not forget about Richie James. We're so deep at wide receiver. I'm rolling it.
You don't have to get mad about it.
I'm rolling it, baby. Is that against Isaiah Norman, number 40? I'm not for sure. What a pass. What a catch. Richie James is going to ball out, my man.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
It's going to be a good year. It's going to be fun to watch.
How do you leave Richie off this roster?
Right. Jan asked, why do we have different players who return kicks versus punts? Are they that different? No. Yes and no, I guess. I mean.
Hey, look. Sorry. That wasn't Isaiah Norman. That was Echo Boy-Doe.
I thought
that was our first
I almost said
Boy-Doe appearance.
I almost said that.
And he got toasted.
But, Mike, answer Jan Fragable here. Do you think that the kick versus return or kick return versus punt return is that much different? And why is it two different people?
This is why I think they do it. You'll take running backs. We tend to take running backs that can build up a full head of steam. They can accelerate. They're still shifty, but they're bigger bodies because people are running a lot more.
Well, they got more time to hit top end.
Right. More time.
Than on a punt.
And you're going to take harder hits, I think. On punt returns, quicker reaction times. They've got to be very shifty as soon as they catch
That's
the ball.
why Kadarius Toney was so good in the Super Bowl.
Dude, in the Super Bowl, he was surrounded. Dude, Dante Hall catches the ball, shift, looks like a video game. You have to have that. I don't think Prince, Pacheco have that to where, like, as soon as they catch it, they cut on a dime.
No.
It's not going to happen. That's the main reason. And, again, you let Kadarius Toney return a kick, great. He's going to have a little bit more time before the guys and the entire team get down there and converge on him.
Also more fragile than these guys.
But, yeah, they're more fragile, so you need to be able to take a little bit. We're actually a team that likes to return kicks a lot, too. A lot of teams just take the knee, bring it out.
We take a lot of them.
We take a lot of them.
It's funny because a lot of times we don't get back to the 25, like, feels like 85, 90% of the time, and we're always like, why don't they ever just take a knee?
Yeah, we see that a lot but we see it as different. We see it as like we can make that a play.
We got Kip Carnes with a 10 bomb. Appreciate you, Kip. He says, I haven't heard much about Justyn Watson. I tried to say we would be all right at wide receiver. How is the defensive line doing, as in Felix and Charles? So thanks, Kip, for the 10. We appreciate you, my man. Thanks for the support. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Felix, he's been running with the second team. He had a good day today. Which Felix is not going to see as many snaps as, say, Charles Omenihu or George Karlaftis. It's just not going to happen unless he comes out. Unless he comes out and goes crazy. Charles Omenihu, he's been doing well. I think he'll be good this year. Yeah, but Justyn Watson, let's see. Haven't heard much about Justyn Watson. Hadn't tried. Yeah, I think we'll be all right at wide receiver, though, Kip, for sure. Whether we have Justyn Watson or not, it is what it is. What do you think?
Yeah.
Mike?
Justyn Watson struggled today. He dropped a few. One of them got picked, but he caught a touchdown pass. Andy come out and said he was vital to our offense. He was running with the ones today. He's been running with the ones all week. It's looking to more and more like Justyn Watson's probably on the team. I mean, so are we going to take 6 or are we going to take 7? If we take 6, that's knocking Richie James or Justin Ross right out of there.
I don't think you can do that. I just don't think you can do it.
I don't either. I think you have to take 7, especially with Kadarius Toney not being available a lot.
But
I think 7, you have to do it.
It wouldn't be the first time that, like, Andy and them made some kind of decision on the 53-man roster where we're like, really?
Can we get cute?
You know what I'm saying?
With it? Can we figure out ways to get cute with the 53? For example, you're not taking the fullback. It opens up a wide receiver spot. Can you maybe not take 4 wide receivers or 4 tight ends and maybe Noah Gray kind of does what Blake Bell does, and then you don't even take Bushman.
You could, yeah.
Or you take Bushman or Forts in one and just take 3, and then that gives you an extra wide receiver or something. You can maybe slide on Omenihu defensive
There's so many different ways
end.
So many different ways to work that. I think that with that addition of the fullback spot, I just don't see why we couldn't have. If we took 6 wide receivers last year, that means obviously, logically, you could take 7 this year, and not be much different than last year. So I don't know. We'll see how Andy gets it worked out. Like I said before, man, I have my ideas of what needs to happen, but I trust Andy Reid's judgment far more than mine. So whatever he comes up with as the 53 best men, I'm going to be happy with. I'm just excited to see how it plays out.
Right. Thanks, Kip. Put some legendaries in the chat for Kip. Maybe a little ketchup. Get it for him. Jan says the Browns had to run sprints today due to multiple fights.
The Browns? Well, they went back to like high school. Like, y'all stop fighting, do some sprints.
Right. Man, I tell you what, I think their coaches literally do or die this year. But don't the Browns always do this? Like, even when they hired Hugh Jackson, he was such a hard ass, man. He wouldn't listen to his coaches. I remember him fighting with Todd Haley. He wouldn't listen to Todd Haley. They just people were coming off the field and begging to be traded. Corey Coleman, like, he was wanting to be traded mid-practice.
Yeah.
Dude, they try so hard, and it's just not a player's first mentality. Like, they respect Andy enough that Travis knew coming off the field yesterday he didn't get in trouble. Andy looked at him like, hey, I'm disappointed in you, but he didn't discipline him, and Travis disciplined himself. He went to Andy and he apologized, said, I got to do better. Cleveland, you've got them running sprints like they're in high school. You're degrading them over just being competitive. The Browns don't want to compete. If they're fighting because they're competing. They don't want to win in Cleveland. They don't know how to win in Cleveland. Let's put it that way. They don't know how to win. They just see it as a distraction.
Got Ty with a 5 bomb. Appreciate you, Ty. You're the man. Thanks for all your support last night and today. He says that 65 likes, fam. 176 watching. Let's get to 100 so I can make some people happy with memberships. Let's freaking go. Nice, Ty. That's awesome. But yeah, he did this last night as well. You guys go hit that like button if you haven't yet.
Right.
Get that up to what's he say at 65 or no at 100. Get that up to 100, and he will gift out some memberships for you guys. So if
That should be easy, baby. We're at 69 right now. What? 69 likes? Up to 72? Oh, they're flying. With 173 in here, we're going to get to 100 quick. So everybody take a second, hit that like button. We appreciate y'all being here on your Sunday afternoon. Me and Steve's probably got a few minutes to go. Get your questions in. We'll talk a little bit more. We got a few more highlights to show you. We'll answer a few more questions. Then we're probably going to get out here and have a little Sunday dinner. And then we're going to come back tonight and record a podcast, which will be up tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. bright and early for your drive to work. We're going to cover all the camp stuff for the week, talk a little bit more about this. So
YouTube podcast will be out a little later that day, the video version. But if you want to hear the podcast tomorrow morning, just Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen on.
Get it going, baby. And, let's a little bit more about camp today. Why not? We got just a few more. Let's talk about the big uglies, the offensive lineman. Wanye, he started the 9-on-7 period. Wanye Morris worked in for a rep with the first team at right tackle. So Wanye got a first team rep over Juwan Taylor. Don't see that happening very often. Chiefs have worked in Wanye Morris at both right and left tackles with the first team in the 9-on-7 period. And then we did hear from Juwan Taylor today. Juwan Taylor's eating up Karlaftis and Omenahue's attempts at turning speed into power. He's absorbing it. He's crushing it. The offensive line, Steve, we've got to have the offensive line. It's got to gel. That's what – it don't matter how good our wide receivers are, how good our tight ends are, how good Patrick Mahomes is. If they don't have time to do it, they can't do it.
I have all the faith in the world in Juwan Taylor having that right side solid with Trey Smith. Like, that does not worry me not one bit. I mean, you think from Creed – over to Juwan Taylor, that is a solid-ass offensive line. And then you got Joe Tooney. Solid. The only question mark is Donovan Smith.
Question mark.
And I know we talk about this a lot, so it kind of come off as Donovan Smith hate, but that's not it at all. I think 2 years ago, Donovan Smith was an excellent left tackle. Last year, he struggled with injuries and things like that, so he didn't play his best. So that's what leaves a little bit of a question mark there. It's the only one that you don't feel warm and fuzzy about. Like, he's not playing with Tom Brady anymore. He's not playing with a quarterback that's a statue in the pocket that gets rid of the ball in 1.5 seconds. It's a different offense. It's a different quarterback. It's a different game completely. You heard from Orlando Brown Jr. Straight out of the horse's mouth that being a left tackle for Patrick Mahomes is not easy because Mahomes takes way longer drops than everybody else. He's not one that wants to be in the pocket. He'll roll out of a clean pocket. Yeah, I mean, it is difficult. So that's something I'm going to have my eyes on as soon as the preseason starts, man, is that left tackle position. But other than that, man, offensive line, I think, has definitely been an upgrade.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. The offensive line's another one of those. Let me bring this back up. Let's talk about the offensive line for just a second, and then we will take some questions and wrap this bad boy. But let's talk a little bit about the offensive line. Can you see this? Orlando's gone now. Yep. So, obviously, Donovan Smith's there. Tooney, Creed, Smith, Wiley's gone. That's obviously Juwan Taylor. Last year, they took Garen Christian, who's not on the team, Nick Allegretti. So, Nick Allegretti's probably back on. So, that's 6. Prince is still here. Kennard's still here. I would think that Prince and Kennard both make that team. So, who gets this Garen Christian spot? It's got to be Wanye, is it not?
Right.
So where's Niang? He's out.
And they shouldn't. I mean, man, I don't want to keep up Niang's slander because I do like the guy.
I don't either. But where's he fit? Does he beat Prince?
He's not beating Prince. He's not beating Darian. It's just not happening. If he does, it's silly. Like, you realize, like,
take 10?
A lot of people like think that you missed on Darian Kennard as a 5th round pick because he didn't play last year, and it's like, what? Right. Like, what are you talking about? We've watched this guy play in college. Like, he's the real deal. He's a finisher. He's a Trey Smith type real deal. Yeah, I don't see it, dude. I think with the potential of Kennard,
right.
So the question marks Prince, Tagovailoa, or Lucas Niang.
Right. So Garen Christian is going to be Wanye. And then you've got Nick Allegretti and Kennard. So it's Prince versus Niang. And I give it to Prince all day long. I think he's a little more versatile. I think he's a little more athletic. I'm surprised that we don't have a spot on here for Nick Caliendo or whatever. What's his name? Mike Caliendo. I don't know why I said Nick.
Is that like a comedian or something? Hey, Brian Parrott says, when did we get warm and fuzzy with Jawan Taylor? How do I miss this stuff? We got warm and fuzzy with Jawan Taylor the minute we knew he was going to be a right tackle.
Yeah, I think that might have been it.
Like, as far as right tackle goes, granted, maybe overpaid for a right tackle, but we know he's solid at right tackle, 100%. Like, that's a massive upgrade from Andrew Wiley. End of story. Now, when he was going to go over to left and try that experiment, that's when we didn't have the warm and fuzzy. But since they went and got Donovan Smith, we know Taylor's playing on the right side. I'm fine with Taylor. We know that's going to be solid.
Yeah. It might have been Matt Lane. Let me see if I can find this and bring it up for you guys. Matt Lane the other day had tweeted out somebody that was breaking down offensive linemen through or offensive lines throughout the NFL, and they were trying to predict who was going to be good, who was going to be bad, this and that. And okay, I found it. So let me share this tab with you guys. Can you see it, Steve? Matt Lane?
Yeah.
The Chiefs' worst offensive line in pass pro is going to be Taylor at right tackle. So computer cowboy, Ben B. Baldwin right here, he runs computer data analyst. A data-driven guess at how good each team's offensive line might be in pass protection given its 5 projected starters. The Chiefs. Okay, so they're saying at left tackle, overall we're 5th. At left tackle, at 82 is what they give Donovan Smith. 100 right. For Tooney. 95 for Creed in pass protection. A 66 for Trey Smith in pass protection. And Jawan Taylor, a 63. I think this guy's a little drunk because Jawan Taylor, his only main selling point was that he's great in pass protection. And
his computer's failing him.
Well.
His computer's failing him. He
needs a bigger CPU.
He needs a... Is he using like a Commodore? About. Is he using a?
He might be using floppy disks still.
Maybe. I think so.
Dude, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you think that 66, 63? You mean to tell me that you think Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor could be one of the worst pass blocking right sides of offensive lines in the league? You're out of your mind.
That's silly. That's silly.
Yeah.
But the fact that he, it doesn't really do it any justice that he has Donovan Smith in 82. I can't feel good about that because he missed so bad on the right side.
Right. I'm just trying to look at Computer Cowboy. I don't know what this Computer Cowboy is, but we're done with it. Computer Cowboy stinks.
We're done with it. I don't know
what he's talking about.
Hey, Ty says we're at 84 likes. 84. We need 16 more. If you haven't hit that like button yet, just back out, hit that like button real quick for us. Get it to a hundo, get to 100, and Ty's going to gift some memberships, and we're all going to have a good time.
Right. And because that you're going to do that for us, we're going to show you a nice little Travis Kelce play today. Here we go.
Always good play. Missed it. Do it again.
To what?
I said I missed it. Do it again. I got distracted by the weird 90s music in the background. I think I heard Third Eye Blind or something.
That was Semi-Charm Kind of Life.
That's what Steve. I thought. Yeah, play it again.
Here we go. I'll play it one more time. Dude, does it ever get old seeing Mahomes to Kelce?
No.
Here we go.
Never. Do you think it has to be kind of weird for these guys that they're just at practice? Like, it's just practice, man. Allen Iverson, it's practice. Right. And they catch a ball and everybody's like, yeah.
Right.
like who gets an applause? Like, I don't know.
Hey, Brian Cook, the enforcer, got enforced.
Can you imagine if like NBA players went to practice and they walked out on the floor and they shot a 3 and hit it and everybody just went wild every time?
So the girlfriend asked yesterday, because the Chiefs are just a special kind of team, a special kind of fan base. And she said, do other teams have training camp? And I was like, yeah, all 32 have training camp. I was like, but nobody hardly shows up. It's not it's not 8,000 a day.
Did you see the comparison of the Washington Commanders turnout for training camp this year to last year?
They had like 2 guys in a lawn chair.
Last year there was 2 guys in a lawn chair. That was it. That was it. That's crazy to think about.
Could you imagine? Okay, look, that makes me want to maybe go down there and get some stuff autographed and just sell it on eBay.
Right. Let's go talk Scary Terry into coming to the Chiefs.
Yeah, let's see if Chase Young's available. We'll do Brett Veach's job for him. How about that?
We can punch Eric Bieniemy.
Hey,
and the boob for arguing and messing up the AFC Championship game 2 years ago.
don't be enemy boo. Here we go. I got a Rashee Rice touchdown. Who don't want to watch this? So let's go.
Nice.
Sweet. That's sweet. Shout out to KC Sports Network, too, for all the film. Those dudes, Matty Lane, he's been on our show before. I would love to have Matt back and talk to him a little bit. We said
last time he kind of got bombed by Darian Kennard coming in the live stream.
How unfair was that? Kennard's going to come in and steal the entire podcast away from even us. Nobody was here to watch us. They were here to watch Darian Kennard, which
was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Really cool thing for Darian Kennard to do.
Yeah.
I would like to have Matt back on. And shout out KC Sports Network. They get all this good footage from camp. They post it on Twitter. Go follow them on Twitter. And they don't complain about people using it.
Right.
I've seen other people on Twitter.
This is getting annoying.
There's a Nick Jacobs on Twitter that's like, do not use this video unless you have permission and all this stuff. It's like, who cares, dude? You're recording it with your freaking cell phone along with 100 other people that's going to put up the same play.
I think
like,
KSHB was actually recording with their film, though, like actual cameras. But still, my point is it's a news organization, bro. Like, every news organization in the country shows the same crappy clip over and over and over all day long. It's like, you don't think those are going on. Shut up.
Right.
Like, geez Louise.
No, but
like, isn't there bigger things to argue about in the world than clips of Chief football?
But,
like,
hey,
we've got that form of gatekeeping now.
KC Sports Network doing Lord's work, getting some good footage, and they have not complained one bit
on
about
the bright
us
side,
using it. So
if y'all complain, no, I'm joking. But yeah, let's hope they don't complain because they're one of the only ones that get some good footage out there, man. I guess if me and Steve lived in KC, we'd just have to drag our butts out there every day with a cell phone, just go for it.
Yeah,
but I don't want to do that. It's hot, man. Can we hire people to do that for us? That'd be nice.
You can do that actually.
Okay. Well, next year we'll start. Let's bring up an internship. That way we don't have to pay people. That'd be pretty.
What's
sick.
the likes looking like?
The likes, we're up to 93. Come on, guys. We got 7 more. Once we hit 100 likes, we're going to give out some stuff, and then we're going to answer some questions in the meantime, and then we're going to give you our play of the day. Oh, I can't wait to show you play of the day. We've already seen it.
I've seen some really good plays. Oh, okay.
We've actually already seen it. It's one of the ones we've already showed. What do you think might be play of the day, though, from all those highlights? I didn't get the Kakoa Crawford touchdown. Nobody got highlights of that one. Yesterday it was Danny Shelton.
I don't know where you're going to. I think maybe the Deneric Prince catch they laid out for. I don't know.
I don't have it. I don't have the highlight of it. Sorry, man.
Let me think.
KC Sports Network was asleep during that one.
I don't know. I'll wait and see what you came up with.
We're at 98. We're 2 away. Come on, baby. Let's hit those likes. 176 in here. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click that bell. Love you guys. Love spending time with you guys. Love talking Chiefs with you guys. This is what it's all about. We got the smartest guys and gals in the world, part of the ACU crew, talking Chiefs all the time. Dude, it's 3:12 in Kansas City, and we're all online talking football in the middle of the day. In the middle of the Lord's Day in July. We're talking about the Chiefs.
Hey, you guys, if you haven't heard it enough, you are the real deal. Like you're the Chiefs Kingdom. I mean, come on, like the best, right? And there goes Ty, right on cue with the 5 gifted.
There it is, baby.
Appreciate you, Ty. You're the man. Thanks for the support and helping us grow the channel. Make sure you guys have your gifting turned on. That way you can snag one of those.
They gone
already.
Quick.
The Chief KT get one. He's been begging.
Scott Crosser, Chiefs Live, Tech 9, Greta Licious, and Jack Richards. Welcome to the crew.
Nice.
5 up, 5 down.
Chief KT, just go to join.allchiefedup.com. It's $4.99, man. You can do it. I have faith in you.
We have the faith. I will say this. Ketchup bottles and legendaries for Ty. Ty's helped us grow. Him, Chris Wright. I mean, we've got a few that have just constantly throwing out subs and stuff and helping it grow that way. But we've got a few that just also, we got the Brenda Pikes of the world that she'll drop bombs on us. Stephen James drops bombs. Dude, Yogi
Jan
drops
Fry
bombs.
Gable.
Jan drops bombs. We got so many here that just love, supporting, and we appreciate it. And you don't even have to drop bombs to be a supporter. Just watching the video and hanging out with us at 3 o'clock on a Sunday.
Hitting that
That's all
like
we can
button.
ask for, man.
You know,
just talking
that kind
to
of
us,
thing.
hitting that like button, baby. That's what we love. But let's answer a few more, and then Me and
We're
Steve
gonna
can
go-
go have a little
we're gonna
early
eat.
dinner.
Man, I'm still debating. Like I'm debating on driving.
Steve,
Up
make it a
to
poll.
you.
Make it a poll.
Okay, I'm making a poll. You guys are
Mexican
going to
food
decide. You guys are
or
going to decide.
Wingstop.
I've been craving Wingstop really bad, but it's further away from me. Let's start a poll.
Imagine. Okay, well, look. Let's say Mexican food within 10 minutes, Wingstop within 45 minutes. That needs to be added in the poll as well. Take into the account the drive for old Steve. But yeah, that's a good poll to end on. That's a fun poll. I know it's not about football, but you know what? What's the next best thing about football? Food. A little Mexican food. A little wing.
Here we go, baby. Is Wingstop 2 words or 1?
Wingstop is...
I don't know. I made it 1.
It's 2. I think it's 2.
I made it 1. I'm sorry, Wingstop.
It's okay. No, you might be right, actually.
It'd be all right.
That kind of looks right. I think you're right.
Rich says that you guys consider pizza as American or Italian. I'm going to go with American. Yeah.
I think it's American.
I think it was Italian influenced.
I think if you see some real Italian pizza, we'd probably be like, man, I don't want to eat this junk no more.
You never watched Dave Portnoy do those? Like, he was actually in Italy, and he didn't like half the pizza that he ate. Said it was weak.
Yeah. I like it, man. I would love to go on a pizza. All Chiefed Up should go on a pizza tour. That'd be awesome, because we got pizza in the chat, dropping pizza. We should do our own pizza reviews. That'd be hilarious.
We're just going to steal it straight from Barstool?
Screw Barstool.
Do our own?
We're the Chief. We're the Chief Kingdom Barstool. We don't need Barstool. By the way, Barstool, if you want to shout out, if you want to bring us on the roster, if you want to pay us, you want to sponsor an episode, go for it. We're available. But otherwise, forget Barstool.
Speaking of, there's a place called Beerly Sports. That's BEERLY Sports. They're kind of like a smaller sort of Barstool type thing. They're doing their AFC West, the first look at AFC West on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, around that. And we will be on there representing Chiefs Kingdom. So we'll keep you posted on that. That way you guys can get in on that live stream. I think they do theirs on Discord, but it might come out on YouTube and everything. I don't know for sure. We'll figure it out, and we'll get that info out to you guys so you can check it out. And we got Yogi with the 5-bomb. Since I think both Charles O and Furious George can get close to double-digit sacks this year. They're going to make the quarterbacks get double-digit sucks. That's what they're going to do. Appreciate you, Yogi, for the 5. Thanks for all your support, man. You've been awesome. And I totally agree. I think both of them could hit double-digit sacks.
You see how autocorrect's doing Yogi right now? That's what it does to me all the time. I'll text my mom and it'll say something vulgar, and I'll say, "What are you doing?"
Mike has a lot of trouble with the old.
So what are you doing? Autocorrect.
Autocorrect.
But yeah, I think Charles O and George could get close. Charles O's only had. I don't even think he's had double-digit sacks since he's come in the league. Total. But maybe he has a breakout. I will say George can probably get there.
It would have to be a breakout year for Charles. I mean,
Hey.
a lot of people's expecting a lot from him, even though he's not necessarily like he had a pretty good season last year, was his best. So maybe everybody's just banking on that trend.
You think Charles Omenihu's going to have more sacks this year, or Felix, Steve?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's
I think
a
it's going to be
great
pretty
question.
close, actually. A lot of people don't think Felix is going to get as many reps, so they don't think he'll have as many opportunities, which could be true. Plus, you're going to have Omenihu getting down as defensive tackle a lot. So, I mean, you might see Felix on the field more than you think. Man, that's a tough one. If I had to guess right now, I'd say they'd both be around that 8 mark. If I just had to straight out guess, like put some money on it. I would say that George Karlaftis would probably be the sack leader if I had to guess.
Right. Yep, I'm with you. Thanks, Yogi. We appreciate you. Drop some legendaries for Yogi. Yogi is awesome.
Yeah, appreciate you, my man.
Michael Howard says, "Hey guys, if Donovan Smith is the weak link, who else is taking reps?" We would have guessed maybe Wanye gets a slot in and take a little bit of left tackle reps. Prince Tega could take some left tackle reps. I think they had Lucas Niang in there left.
I think we just need to really. I think we need to really pray that Donovan Smith is back to form and has a good year. Because if he's Donovan Smith from 2 years ago, we're solid. We're solid. That's all I got to say about it.
I like it. Tommy says it's crazy to see Yannick Ngakoue still a free agent.
Can't stop the run.
Yeah, boy, just can't stop the run.
He's a liability.
I mean, but again, defensive end makes their money in this league chasing quarterbacks, and he's good at
They
doing
do,
that,
but you can't just completely suck at the run game. He's a
But could you
liability.
imagine
On the run game.
him?
They can target him on the run game.
Can you imagine him going in with the Chiefs though, and just every third and long situation, just put him on the field? I mean,
wouldn't be opposed to
it's
it.
a lot of meaningful snaps there, third and
I mean,
long.
that could be that extra signing they get just to ensure it. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
Yep. Scott Crosser says, "Will Mike Dana have double-digit sacks?" Man, that's a great question because I think Dana's going to have a little bit of a breakout season if he can stay healthy.
I think if he can stay healthy on the field, he could definitely push double digits. I think I would put him in that 8 mark as well. I think we're gonna see a lot of sacks this year, but I think it's gonna be spread out pretty well amongst the guys. Obviously, Chris Jones is gonna be the sack leader.
How many defensive ends are going to have more than 5 sacks for us this year? George, Omenihu, Felix,
Yes.
Dana.
Dana's gonna be right at that 5. Yes, let's say yes.
Does B.J. Thompson do it if he
He'll
makes
push.
the roster?
He could be pushing it. I think he'll at least get like 3, maybe if he
Would
plays.
Kando
enough.
do it?
No.
Would Herring do it?
No. No.
So that's my point. I don't know why they keep wasting spots with Herring and Kando. It makes no sense. Let's just go with youth. Let's go with youth.
Stephen James with the 2. We appreciate you, my man. This is also another guy that's a big supporter of the channel. He is awesome. So we appreciate you. Still got this bad boy right here because of good old Stephen James. Boom. And yeah, man, we appreciate the 2. It's been a nice Sunday chat. It's kind of impromptu. Wasn't planned, but I'm glad we did it. It's nice to talk to you guys. We did a 2.5 hour live stream last night, so it's like we've been living on here for the last 24 hours. But hey, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's always fun to talk with you guys and just talk about the Chiefs. And this is what we've been waiting for.
Yep.
We've been waiting for actual football camp stuff to talk about, and it's been fun, man.
Kind of feels like draft weekend. We were on here every day for like 4 hours just talking about the draft. Remember that?
Whew, that was rough. I'm not gonna lie, that was rough. That was long because it's like not only were we on live streaming a lot of the draft and for hours and hours, but when we weren't, we were looking at the draft and looking at the players we drafted and looking at film, and that was a weekend, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was long. Rich says we're taking 5 corners, 5 safeties. Mark my word.
I think Devin Bush makes the team.
I think we take more corners than 5. I think we're going to take at least 6, and then I think we only take 3 to 4 safeties.
I say 4 safeties.
But, I mean, it depends on who you're calling a safety because I would think Chamari Connor could be called both.
Right. Well, we'll see how that goes, too. I wish Najee wouldn't have got hurt. That still sucks.
Yeah, but doesn't Najee – okay, like now the injuries happen, I think Najee now it becomes a little more clear, I think, on who they take because Najee was kind of fighting Nick Jones. Now I think it's Nick Jones' job to lose. So
yeah. All right. I got Tommy Smith here. He says, what's y'all's thoughts with Wanye Morris getting reps with the ones playing left and right tackle? I think if they're just doing their due diligence here, man, they got to see how everybody plays out. You never know when injuries are going to pop up. You never know if maybe Jawan Taylor has to shift to the left side. You don't know. Maybe he can just stay on the right side and Wanye could come in if something happens with Smith or something like that. I don't know. I think they're just kind of doing their thing in camp that they normally do and kind of getting a good look at everybody so they can figure out what they're doing. And that's where I'm at with it, man.
Yep, I hear you. Ty says, thanks to everyone that came to hang and getting the likes up there. Yeah, guys, we're at 108. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. We've been on here a lot over the past few days. I know you guys are tired of seeing our mugs, probably. Enjoy the day with your families. Have some nice dinner. Relax a little bit. This week, we fully expect a lot more awesome camp news. We expect Chris Jones getting signed this week, Steve, right?
Yes, yeah. I fully expect to see that this week. I really do.
So, yeah, man, tomorrow we're going to have a video out. We're going to have a podcast out at 6 a.m. So if you haven't got enough of us, and I don't know how in the world you haven't, there's those options.
We have one more thing that we got to do before you just run us out of here.
You got to check that poll, don't you?
We got to check that poll, baby.
Check the poll. Where are we going?
Eating? Mexican food it is. 68% says so.
That's an overwhelming Mexican food.
I still kind of want Wingstop. I'm not going to lie, but we'll go with ACU crew here.
Right. We'll get Wingstop later on in the week.
Yeah,
Make the lady drive up with you.
We'll see about that.
Stop. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys being here for real. Everybody that donated, we appreciate it. Everybody that threw out some memberships, which is Cobra Kai Tie, baby. We appreciate everybody for real. Just being here, spending your time with us. Hit that like button on the way out. If you haven't subbed already, hit that sub button. We're trying to get to 20K. And Steve, do you got anything left for Chiefs Kingdom and the ACU crew?
I do. One more thing. We will be at camp on August 15th. We're having a meet and greet that night at 7 to 9 p.m. at Zarda in Blue Spring. Make sure that you guys get a ticket if you guys want to come hang out with us. If you take Ty's comment off the screen, I'll be able to see. Yeah, make sure you grab a ticket. It's bit.ly/ACUTIX. ACUTIX. Grab a $10 ticket, and that will get you a gift from us, and you'll get to come hang out because there's a 50 cap limit on the room we have at Zorda. So if you want to come hang out, if you're in the area and that's something you want to do, we'll have special guests there. Haley Lewis, we'll have Lance Twidwell from The Spoken. We have some other guys that are going to try to swing by if they can. Cole from How About Those Chiefs, Jason Dunn from Chief Concerns, maybe Marcus Dash as well. So yeah, we're still working on getting more people. And if you guys want to come hang out and just have a good time, it's going to be real informal, just chilling, eating, having a good time talking. Make sure you grab a ticket and come hang out with us. That would be awesome.
Well said, Steve. I can't wait to see the crew. Can't wait to see the crew. It's going to get here before we know it, man. Like literally like 2 weeks. I'm excited. But yeah, man, it's going to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys have a good Sunday evening, and go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.